I will introduce myself. Hi Mayank, I'm Faris, working as a senior engineering manager in Open Financial Technologies, and I'm here for the second round, right, which is
Yes.
mainly logical round. I think the first round, which has taken by the Justin Sebastian, one of my colleague, and he took the technical, I mean, coding round.
Yes. Could you give me a minute?
Sure, okay.
Yeah, we can continue. Sorry for interrupting. You are on mute, or I'm not able to hear you.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you can hear me, right?
Yes.
Yeah. As an introduction about me, right? I'm working in open financial technologies for last 6 years, and mainly on the main product of Open, which is Open.money.
Yes.
Okay. And yeah, I think we can just move to the. I mean, you can introduce yourself, and then we can start the round.
Yeah, sure. So I have a total 5 year of experience in a PHP technology and other technology also. Like I'm working as a full stack. So I have
Mhm.
a variety of technology experience like PHP, Node.js, React.js, okay, AWS, MySQL. Okay, so overall, like currently in my eagle view, here I am at the position of SDA1, where my responsibility is to mentoring the legacy application and if there is a because there is a PHP based legacy application, we are converting into a new application. So which is tech stack React and Go. So I am basically participating to contributing the React side mostly. So at more than 2 year I'm handling that project from the scratch level, also taking care the production issue if anything, because that is a legacy application. If anything goes wrong, I am to take care of this all. I will upgrade that project legacy application PHP 5.2 to directly to the 8 point using the reactor, and I have converting that virtual box to in a Docker to for running the application in a sandbox in our local environment. So developer not need to be set up all the things in our local. Okay, so I have experience of building the API and CI/CD and AWS cloud base experience in like giving the providing the training to the. In my previous company I provided the onboarding that process during that time 6 months of period of to train the new developers. So where I giving the training of that juniors to oops and functions in a PHP. So I've just tried to clarification, and yeah, that's it about like I'm doing this of the best practice I'm following.
Yeah, good. And you are from?
I'm from MP Gwalior, but currently I'm in a Bangalore.
Okay, okay, fine. I think we'll start to the questions
Yes.
directly, right?
Okay.
So, most of your experience is on the PHP side of it, right?
Yes.
In which Laravel as a framework and Core Igniter as well was there as one of the, I mean, framework, if I mention, right?
Yeah.
Now, just as a software development life cycle, right?
Yes.
The software development life cycle which you are aware, can you just explain?
So software life cycle is like you are before developing the software you have to take taking the requirement from the your customer. If you are a product based company, then you have to taking requirement from your TPM or there our that BP we have to take care. Okay, stakeholder we have to taking our requirements, and we have to building the we are planning to how the feature will we have to introduce, how it will be starting to how we will work, what the challenges will come. Okay, if after that we are discussing with the architecture. So architecture is giving the high level design, okay, and low level design to be discuss with the developer. So means how this feature will going, okay, what challenge we are facing we are checking. After this all the clarification we are break down the all the things. This, yeah, this system will going like how it will be built, okay, and from where to we have to start. And if there is a big application, so we have to take the feedback to at some time of every some time of period of time we have to taking the feedback. And after that if all the functionality and is means software is ready to, so we are testing in a test environment and deploying a stage, then production. Okay, if any bug we are coming, then again we are refollow that cycle, developing and fixing the bug and redeploy again. If after that we are going, this application is ready for production, then it will, if we are getting any feedback from the customer, so accordingly we are again doing that same cycle.
Okay. Now, I will just give a use case, a real-time scenario.
Okay.
Suppose there is an API
Okay.
which is doing a user registration.
Okay.
Okay, and the company is asking us to improve the performance of the API.
Okay.
Think that this API's latency is very high,
Hmm.
and we have to improvise on the performance of this API. Right now, the API performance improvement can be done on multiple ways, right? Whether in the code or in the database, or like what all are the actions happening in the API and all. Think that there is some notifications we are sending in that API. Okay, as part of this API process, there are some database insertions, and there are some other tables querying we are doing. Okay, for example, like to check whether this user doesn't exist in the system already, those kind of things, right?
Right.
Insertion is there, and there are uh, notifications I already mentioned, right?
Yes.
So these kind of things are happening. Now, when we are doing the performance improvement, right? What all are the checklist you will be having to improvise the performance of this API on a higher level, whether let it be code base, let it be database level, or whatever, on a normal case.
So, like, first I can start from like when we are hitting the our API, so we can check the okay, this is the time amount we are getting, means performance is very low, mean it should not be given the response in some amount of delay. So what we can check, we can go for the server. Okay, so we are at the code level, we can check the, okay, what is the function we are using, is there any data code is there, like a this is a complex code, this is a highly computational. Okay, so we have to check this if all the things fine. So in our DB side we have to check like if there is any insertion is we are doing, so any what is the heavy task we are doing, we have to just checking the user CSRF token or some things that we have to take. After that we are putting the insertion. So it's like sometimes what happening, unnecessary we are doing the indexing in a table, so it is also sometimes giving like a slow when you are doing the insertion. Okay, so it is like a, it is also updating data in our indexing. Okay, so it is also can be a cause. So we have to check, yeah, is a primary key or a, we have to check is there is a necessary, is it required to use the indexes or not. Okay, after that we can, if there is SQL query side, like if insertion query taking time, so we can take the analyze key, using that we can check the what is the is indexing using or what is the cause issue. It will maybe little bit we can get the idea. Okay, if all the things fine in a DB side, we can check the server side, is there any proxy happening, it is going to, how it is going to, it's going to the load balancer, and after load balancer how it is redirect to other. Okay, and in the internally RB, what is the processing, this is the some way I can try to figure out the.
Okay. And will you be, able to use any tools or packages or anything to analyze where or what action is taking time for that API? Or you will be manually going and
Yeah, for
analyzing?
now I don't have a much idea which tool will be work. So we can manually we can like using the set timeout, or like using the PHP we can use the at this at the start of the time we can take. Okay, so like execution start from the start of line, and the add on the end of the line we got the this amount of time. So in
Yes.
between we have to find out.
Yeah, you are correct. We can put the start time and time
Yeah.
between wherever we feel like this will take time and all. Then we will be able to derive in a, solution that where exactly it is taking time and what need to be improvised, right?
Right.
First, there are built-in tools or third parties which is very good in this kind of analytics.
Okay.
For example, like Neuralink,
Yeah,
those
I
kind
know. Yeah.
Neuralink, Sentry, and
Yeah.
all will be able to provide all these details.
Yeah.
Okay. And now coming to the same questions, little more in depth, right?
Okay.
Now, suppose in this API only, there are we are sending some notifications and all,
Right.
okay, to the user, and can we do something on that part?
Like every time when we are putting the insertion, so we are sending the you are successfully registration. I'm
This
taking.
API, say once we registered the user, we are sending a notification to the user that you have been registered
Yeah.
in this platform, blah
Hmm.
blah blah things and all.
Hmm.
So, do you feel anything need to be done here or anything
Yeah,
need to?
so like once upon time I implement this thing in a Laravel. So in a Laravel there is a one concept with the queue. So where we can putting the because this is a sending, we can put in inside the queue. So once the user registration, then it will after set of time of interval it will send automatically. So because of every time sending the email, it getting the information, okay, from the database, so sometimes it is taking time, so why we are putting into the separate queue, so
Okay.
it can be help us.
Correct. So seems like notifications and all, we can do it as an asynchronous process through
Right.
queue mechanism and all.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what are the queue mechanism you are aware or you have worked on?
Queue mechanism, like I told related to Laravel, in a AWS we are using SNS.
SNS is not a queue mechanism. You mean SQS?
SQS, sorry, SNS I think related to service. I
Correct.
forgot to. SQS we are putting means every time any service we are putting into the queue and we are triggering some lambda function or something we are doing.
Okay. Okay. Fine. And another thing is, suppose again I'm putting questions
No,
with
it's
that register API only.
okay.
Suppose in this registration API, as I mentioned, there is notifications we are triggering, and there is some data we are pushing to third-party analytics tools.
Okay.
Okay, so that the customer support team can verify the data or see the user details and all. And in between, we are inserting into our multiple tables and all, right? So suppose since most of you have worked on Laravel or PHP and Node.js and all, right? Which language you will suggest and why to do these operations? To develop this API for registration, which has multiple activities we are planning to do with a very minimal time, say, right? So, which language you will suggest and why?
So as I understand the why the question, like let us user registration in our website. So we are storing this data, like taking the example of in a Salesforce we are storing this or any data cloud we are storing
Correct.
for analyze the how many user registration, right? So we
Yes.
are, so is that,
So, my question to be a little more specific, right?
yeah, is specific by
You feel PHP
or
or
which technology you
it
want to choose.
will be better to handle these use cases? If yes, is it there is any benefit? Something beneficial than the other language, which is that, and why you are suggesting?
I don't have much idea, but as I know, I implementing the most of the things in a PHP. So PHP also lightweight and no much configuration you have to do. Just you can start. So I think PHP is a lightweight. If you are doing, you are seeing like in a banking sector also, lots of people like using for the gaming section. Anyone for that operation in registration or login, they are using mostly that side PHP side. Okay, if you're there is a burnable code that sorry burnable things, like there is the security is more required, then we are using the Java or other technology we can use. So
Okay.
I,
Now, from the use cases which I mentioned, right?
yeah, understood.
Multiple simultaneous things need to be done, right? Do you feel like any of the functionalities of Node.js,
I think,
like
yeah, I
and all,
okay, I got like we can use the Node.js also, like Node.js is a single thread, so we can use that mechanism.
Node
So
is
it's
multi-thread?
sorry,
You meant it correct, but you told Node is single thread. Node is multi-threaded.
is it sorry maybe
PHP is single threaded.
Okay. Oh yeah, so there is an event loop mechanism in a Node.js. So in a Node.js, they are just processing it is taking much time, so it's putting the inside the event loop queue, and after that, it's like it is not blocking any no resources. So
Yeah.
that can be maybe optimized. We can take advantage of that.
Okay. Now, another thing, right? Suppose on the API itself,
Hmm.
you mentioned the way how to look on the indexing part and all, right?
Yes.
And on the database level, that's the one thing which you mentioned. Anything else which we need to check for the API performance?
At the API level,
For the database level.
database level, if there is a maybe there is a complex query we are running to do, so where we can use the store procedure
Uh-huh.
or virtual table we can use, caching mechanism we can implement, but for the registration it will not work.
Cannot be, yeah, yeah. It depends on the use cases. Caching mechanism can be done for kind of static kind of data instead of querying every time,
Mm.
right? And another use case, suppose we are running on a banking related service and all, and think that in a second we will have 1,000 plus transactions or 10,000 or above transactions happening
Mm.
for a user, and we have to calculate the balance. Transactions means inward and outward together, right?
Yes.
Now, there is a high chance that balance calculation will have some mismatches
Mm.
because of the deadlock or concurrency issues and all.
Okay.
How you will solve this issue? With the help of database, some functionalities of database, or with the help of some functionalities in the language, I mean the programming language. You are clear about the I mean question, or should I
No,
specify?
I understood, like you are we are performing some operations checking the transaction, so
Statement I will tell you.
okay.
We are having a suppose you are having a banking application in which you are monitoring all the transactions income from the user. You are showing the current balance, right?
Yes.
Now in a millisecond there can be multiple transactions happening, and the balance which we show, maybe there is a chance to get the calculate the wrong balance. Suppose if the system couldn't handle two simultaneous same millisecond transactions, at the end of the day the data outstanding balance will be wrong, right? If we missed to account one of the transaction, right? Suppose two transactions happened in the same millisecond,
Hmm.
and before updating the balance, one of the transactions balance update got missed
Like
because of the deadlock or anything. Now the entire balance will get mismatched, right?
yes.
When we check for the entire day. So how to solve this issue?
As I know the database, that MySQL, okay, relational database, all are follow the principle like asset property, right? So it will not. It is like a work on locking process. Okay, if there always be a consistent data. If you are going for the Mongo or NoSQL, so there will be a eventual consistency, like it will update or after some time in all the database. So I think MySQL is already enough to able to handle this type of things. So means I'm trying to getting means why it is when it is taking. We can, because simultaneously multiple user is fetching the details and inserting the details. Okay, that database. So if MySQL it is trying to putting the data, so it first log the that transaction, like that is a there will be a transaction, so it will log that table. So means that once this process is completed, then after that you have to do.
Okay, so if we lock the table, right?
Hmm.
Problem is like, then whatever the transactions incoming in that time of locking, right? We will miss it, right? So again the same issue, right? We will miss those transactions, and again balance mismatch will happen, right?
It maybe it will happening. So not a correct answer, but we can use some again queue mechanism or something.
We can use, but it will not be a good idea to use queue mechanism for a highly volatile transacting banking related things are done. So as you mentioned, I mean, this is a real world problem where we are facing, right? So usually we have, this is not on the technical side. If we want to solve, multiple things are like we have to put hash increment and all is there, which is very fast compared to MySQL and all. We have asked only to use MySQL and all. There are like select for update and all, which will lock only that particular row for a period of, it will select the what was the, I mean, value just before update, and it will do the update, and then it will keep the incoming things in the queue.
Yes.
Basically, and it's not like the other queue mechanism like SQS and all, which will require time for pushing to queue and process it and all. It is like just putting in the queue of database, which will lock the database row, select it, update that row, then select the next in the queue, like that. So this is what, if we are asked just to use MySQL or something, and if we have the freedom to use any other mechanism and all, then hash increment and all is another option.
Okay.
And if we have the, and again on the non-technical side of it, there are like two kind of balances which we show to the user. One is like I mean, frequent balance, which we usually ask user not to rely or depend on it, and another one is like closing balance, which will be updated not very frequently, but once in a minute, once in a second and all.
Right.
And any transactions will be based on this closing balance, basically.
Yeah, in our banking, some application it is happening. You are paid some amount.
Application uses this concept.
Yeah, understood.
So, yeah, this is what we can do on that part. And another thing is like, what are the mechanism you will use to make sure that someone is not trying to do some DDoS attack to your system using your APIs, which doesn't have any kind of, I mean, authentication like JWT or anything.
Yeah, like in a public website, you can putting the rate limit. You can put, okay,
Yes.
rate limit you can putting, and some hasing IP address you can tracking. Okay, whitelist you can implement whitelisting. Okay, so these of the some mechanism, because in a Node application I implement these things, rate limit and whitelisting IP and IP address. Some of these thing I implement. DDoS attack, yeah, these all means for now I implemented. So I
Okay. And now, like, again,
yes.
to the database, right? If you are asked to optimize a query,
Okay.
right? What are the things you will be checking while optimizing the query?
So I already told, like we can use using the explain command, so we can check is the any that index we are using or not. Okay, if we are, if there is a query like select query you are using and it is giving a lots of time to retrieve the data, so where you can use like such as when you are putting the where condition, that time is not like you can putting any column at the first and the second, so you have to arrange which is the most unique. Okay, so it's easy to filterize, like instead of username you can first filterize with the user email, after that you can use the username. So because of user email is the most unique, after that, like instead of using the sub query in a large fetching data, where you can use left join, right, any type of join you can use. Okay, indexing I told already, index we can use, virtual table we can create. If there is a complex data we are fetching, complex query, we can use the store procedure, we can create a one function. This is a mechanism I am using most of.
Are you aware about the composite indexing?
Combo system indexing.
Composite indexing,
Composite.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like a, you have to create a, because in a table there is a only primary key, only one, so you can using the more one or more column you can create. it should be unique. It should not be empty or should not be like variable. It should be mostly unique. Then you can like use that.
Uh, is it the composite indexing?
So composite key you can create up according that you can that key you can create a indexing. So maybe
No.
it.
Composite indexing is basically like suppose in most of your system, right?
Yes.
There is a table called users, for example.
Okay.
In that one, most of the places from your code base you are querying for the same data, same set of data. For example, uh, say user email and mobile number together. Always you are querying. Okay. That case, instead of putting two indexes separately for user mobile number and email separately, you can put a composite indexing as a single index, which will do indexing as a combination for user, email plus mobile number.
Okay.
So yeah, that is what composite indexing in MySQL usually do. And you are aware about the NoSQL and relational database and non-relational database and all, right? Now, what kind of cases you will use non-relational databases?
So non-SQL we can choose where like there the event.
I will give you one example.
Okay.
You suggest me for what are activities you will use relational database, same Postgres, SQL or MySQL and all, or non-relational database like Mongo and all. So for example, the use case is again the register API only, where we need to check whether the user already exists. If not, register the user. And again another table where we keep the user extra details, KYC details, all those steps and all. And another thing is like we will keep and think that this user registration is a multi-step process, and think that we are logging each steps of the user activity basically, which when the user completed the registration screen and next screen when he completed and what all are he updated, all those steps, right? So we are keeping those logs as well, right? So for this entire thing, wherever you will use the non-relational and where all you will use the relational database, and why?
So like user registration we can use MySQL because of if we are updating because it's follow the ACID property, consistent data is consistent. Okay, so if user update right now like user change their name and password they have entered, so if like in if they going to the other like we have a multiple database, right? So if there are multiple database then it will taking us some time to update in all the DB. So if we are choosing the NoSQL, it's a fast but it's taking a much time to update in all the database. So like it will.
Correct, but you are saying
so I'm
just we will be using the MySQL database
for registration. For registration we can use.
Correct.
Okay.
Anywhere in the example which I mentioned, right, we can use non-relational database.
Yeah, relation database like once the KYC is completed or like session logging details we can store in the our in a NoSQL we can use. So it is a fast retrieval also.
Why we are keeping it in the non-relational database?
Because of it's a very fast also, or we don't require like it's taking much time to we are okay for using the if the consistency is not there, but after some time it will update in all the DB. So it's basically fast also and operation will be performed. I'm not a valid word what for that, but we can use the for logging that details we can use.
Okay, that can be stored in the MySQL as well, right? Why you choose MongoDB for that particular purpose? What makes it, you told it is fast. Yes, it will be, but what is the benefit of being it as fast?
Because it is not following the property of the ACID property, so it's not locking, it's just updating the data and like this. That's why it is
That can
fast.
be done as an asynchronous process, then the speed of insertion will not be a problem, right?
Yes.
In that manner, suppose you are doing this insertion as an asynchronous process, right?
Yes.
Then do you still feel like MongoDB is required?
But logging trails. I'm not sure about this. Sorry.
So basically, where I'm coming from, I will just mention, right?
Yeah, because of I mostly I working in a MySQL side, not much experience in
So NoSQL, where we use mostly is like, for example, this details which we are doing wherever I mentioned, right?
Yes.
These are like audit logs
Yes.
when the user done what activity and all, and that usually we don't query, right?
Yes.
It's just for log purpose, and which mostly in MySQL or relational database we use the table wise, column wise structure and all wherever we need to query the data in a more structured way and all. Wherever we don't need to query the data in a structured way, but once in a while, say for audit purpose and all logs purpose, we need to export data. Those places are where we use non-relational database where we are just logging as a string or kind of data, right? So these all are the areas, audit logs and all we will never query, but we can keep it as audit.
Agreed. You are right. Actually, I'm not able to
No issues,
recall
no
that point.
And now another thing which I can ask is like, now when you were working on the full stack development, right? Have you ever used the blades, Laravel blade and all?
Yeah, this is a template in only HTML template, so we
And the bootstrap as well you have
yes,
used.
good stuff. 4, 5.
Okay, fine. And
I have also currently working in a React, so
okay. Now, do you know that we can create our own packages?
yes, in a PHP also as well as our NPM Node.js.
In which all cases we will create the packages or we need to create the packages?
So
can you explain some use cases?
Okay, so use case like I'm giving that as I'm working in a one project, so is a layer admin. So what's like there is a operation we are performing, there is a some API is calling, okay? So there are multiple applications, we are following the microservices. So there is a multiple application where we have to call the same API. So for that we have standalone that API, that package we have created. So every time we have to just call that function, all the API just we have to define in our environment variable, and it is calling by the that package only. Another option like UI component, for building the UI component in React. So we are create other separate library for that. You have to like there is a library MUI library, right? So it's a third party library. Similarly, we have created our own library where we are creating the API that component, and we are using the multiple application because we have a multiple application. We are using multiple places. So same component we can use. So we can use that.
Yeah, you are correct. And another thing is like, are you aware about the dependency injection and all in
Yes.
Laravel?
Yeah, in Laravel in PHP core we
So
also
explain what is dependency injection and what is the purpose of this one. And if you are aware about the dependency injection on the method injection or and if you are aware about the constructor injection, what are the difference between these two, method injection and constructor injection, and which one you will suggest for what other cases?
So it's like if there is a one class, this is depend on the some other class, okay? So instead of writing that code inside that function, like you have created a class and you are calling the object inside your class, okay? Another other class object. So it's like a tightly packed, you cannot change that object. So instead of using that, you can in a constructor you can pass. So it's like a constructor dependencies, okay? So we are just provide if like we are different object we can pass, it will act as like what we are passing, okay? So function, that method you are told is like maybe I'm not much used, I'm mostly using that constructor only. So method we are passing the function in a method. If you are there is a one method where you can pass that. Similarly, instead of construct during creating the object, you can create the passing the during the function when you are calling the function.
Yes, exactly. So basically, method injection is like inside a function or inside a method, you are invoking another method or another class function,
Yeah.
a function of another class. And in constructor injection is like for the current class, which all are the methods written, whatever you are injecting, right? That will be applicable for all the functions in that class, in your current class, right? Now, which all are scenarios you will suggest method injection, and which all are scenarios you will suggest constructor injection? Do you
Constructor
feel any difference, and any
difference is like should be like if that constructor needed all that we are passing in a constructor. So if this object is required by the whole complete class, then we can use that
whole
constructor.
or multiple?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Correct. Yeah. And then another thing is like so where all you will use the caching mechanisms, on what scenarios and all? What for
Any
what kind of use cases?
if there is any static pages where we can use, there is a large data we have trying to day by day frequently we are accessing the page, there we can use the any type of cache mechanism.
Okay, so frequent used data,
Yeah.
you will use the cache mechanism, right? But what if that data is very huge?
Yeah, that use time be you can use that cache mechanism you have to implement, because of in the large there is a huge data, then you can putting the
So
cache. Yeah.
basically, from your answer, right?
Yes.
Suppose there is a user table where we keep millions or billions of users' data.
Yes.
Now, this data is getting accessed very frequently, right? Whenever the user logins and all,
Okay.
or whenever a new user registers. So, as per your answer, we will keep it in the caching mechanism, right? We will use. But is it a good idea for this much data?
I think no, but I think frequency data, that millions of data, it should not be called.
So it's not just frequency, but the data, weight as well we have to see,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So mainly caching mechanism, we use light-weighted data sets which we need to use.
Yeah.
Maybe some kind of static list of light-weighted data which we need to query every time, which is not kind of transactional, right?
Yes.
Transactional data, as you are aware, right? User informations
Right.
or transaction related informations. So yeah, that's and another, when come back to your CV, right? And you told in your CV also you mentioned you have done the upgradation, language version upgradations and all,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Have you faced any challenges while upgrading from one language to another one, and what was your experience?
No, actually, I'm not language. No, it's a in
Version upgrade
version
from
only version I upgrade from PHP to PHP only, just version upgrade. So what challenge is there? Like first challenge is there is a very big application. How could you manually do it? Okay. So for that I take the 2 week for research. RCA ticket I take and research how can we upgrade that. So I got to know there is a one package, there is a community with the name of Rector. Using that you can upgrade the application. You have to just mention from which to from where you have to upgrade, from which version to which version. You have to define that version. Accordingly 90% of tasks it will automatically completed. You have to just define the source, okay, what you have to convert, and so it's just doing just replacing the function. If there is any function that are depreciated, it is replacing. Like there is some of the microscript function is it is not able to change, so we have to change them manually also. So this is the one of the challenge I get. Okay, and after that the application is completely upgraded, but it is not in like a running phase. So in a operation phase it was not, so I just figure out why it is not working. So I checking the Apache cache, that error log, why it is happening. So yeah, got to know that SQL did that, we are using PostgreSQL, it is not able to connect because we have to upgrade that extension also. So for upgrading the extension you have to upgrade Apache also, so you have to upgrade Apache. So lots of thing is happening there, so I create
We
a
need
one.
to
Yeah.
be aware about the package versions we are using and all those kind of steps, right? And the
Yes.
database which you are connected,
Yes.
and yeah, what all other things as well. Now, another one use case, right? Suppose I want to keep some data uh, which I require only for a specific set of time, and it is not very huge.
Hmm.
Okay, where I will keep the data and why, and how I will keep the data.
Means there are some low amount of data you have to, but frequently you are facing.
I will be fetching it frequently, but I need it only for a specific set of time.
So means frequently you are accessing, you can use the S3 bucket, you can also use for storing it is not taking time, but you are frequently accessing, then it will causing, means amount of money it will occur. Or if it is a only low data you can use, but EBS also taking time. Is how much data you have?
Very, very less data,
Very
kind of.
less means how
But
much?
again, that is required only. Very less means, say, some amount of KB of data, or max some 1 MB, 2 MB data.
Yes.
Maybe some small informations and all which I require for very short duration.
So I think S3 is the best solution because
Okay.
of it is just taking the charges for when you are accessing. Okay, or you can, it's a less amount, then you can also putting into the server also. Why we are, you are not putting the into the server?
Uh, why I'm not putting in the server is because, say, multiple application want to access that.
Okay.
The applications are in different VPC.
Okay. Yeah, that thing I think that S3 is the best solution for.
S3 will be the best solution since I'm using the distributed service,
Yes.
right? Now, the problem with S3 is like I have to initiate a connection to S3 from my application, and I have to find the data, I have to fetch the data, and I have to process it, right?
Right.
So, do you feel MySQL is better than S3, or anything else is better than S3?
So data means there is a one file or some data.
Not okay. So I mean, explain, right? It's not kind of file data or anything. It's characters or numbers, those kind of data.
Hmm.
Not a file type or anything. That's why I think you first thinking on the S3 part
Yes,
of
yes,
it,
right.
right? Those kind of data storage. Yeah.
Character we can store in the, we can, where we can store like, because if you are using MySQL also, where you have to put the connection every time. Okay, it will also time. So
Everywhere apart from the server or in the pods where you are running, you need to initiate a connection. But I just put up that question when you mentioned the S3. But relatively better, which one?
yeah, Mongo we can also use, or cache also is a good, but cache is a temporary.
It's a good option, right?
Yeah.
Caching is also a good
Yes.
option.
Yes.
It is kind of, I mean, easily accessible compared to MySQL and all, right?
Right.
And if you are keeping in cache, for example, how you will keep it as?
Which we are using, caching mechanism, which caching mechanism we can use. So in a PHP there is a option memcache we can use, or Redis we can also use, but again there is an infra we have to set up.
Yeah, and that's fine, right? And again, I told this data I need the persistence only for a few uh, time frame. Do we need to do something for that when we are keeping this?
Yeah, we can we can put the some amount of expiration time, so after that it will fetching the data.
Correct. Fine. Yeah, I think that's fine. Now, On to the logic part, right? Do you have some sort of note or virtual notepad, or in Google Meet also you can do something, right? I will give just one example. You don't need to write the proper code because coding round we already done.
Yes.
Auto code is also fine, or logic explanation is also fine. Okay. What I need is, but logic explanation should be with explaining the how we explain a code
Okay.
line by line. You don't need to write line by line the proper working code, and all pseudocode is also fine. What I need is, like, I have a linked list.
Okay.
Okay. I want to know whether this linked list is a closed loop or not.
Sorry, could you repeat?
So I have a linked list.
Okay.
I want to know this linked list having a closed loop or not. Do you
Close.
know? Is
Okay. Close means that cycle is there or not.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay. If the circle is there,
Okay.
from in which node it is,
Hmm.
that we have to mention. And to make that linked list non-closed linked list, how we will modify that linked list.
Okay.
I mean, the result should be having whether this linked list is a closed linked list or not. That should be one printing output. If yes, from which node it is starting, and from which node it is closing, right? So closing and opening node can be same node or different nodes. Okay? So which are those, and how open that closing node and create a non-closed linked list. That output also you provide. Maybe detach that closing nodes and put it in the end or in the beginning and create a linked list. Yeah, so you can explain the code. You can take your own time. You just brainstorm it, and you can
Sure.
explain you can write the pseudocode somewhere, or you can explain or something like that.
Okay. Let me take it like this. So do you want to print like a draw something?
If you can draw, that's also fine.
Okay, I can try.
Or if you can write in your notepad some logic, and if you can show on camera after writing everything and then explain, is also fine for me.
Okay. Let me try it.
Whatever uh, feels feasible for you, I'm okay.
Okay. So
Technically, what I am trying to measure is like how you will be solving this issue. That's it. What logic you will be implementing, and where you are writing, how you are writing is none of the issue. But
okay.
how you will be solving is the problem.
There is that drawing board is there. I think we have to use another. Let me create another. Why did not taking new one? Why did not?
I'm not able to find the writing board here. Maybe you can use something else.
Yeah. Why like this? I can try this one. Let me take this. Why did not inserting? I will try to printing like like this. Why opacity is low? So like let's consider this is the linked list. So like it should be like this. Okay. So like this. Yep. So we are putting the data and address. So if we are let's considering like at the starting it will be the null. Okay, so here value like per 2 is value like something is address is 100, then it will be the address of the this 3 and its address is a 200, then it address will be 200 here. So if we consider like this, if there is a cycle, so then fourth, then its address, let's consider there is a address 300, then it put the 300. If this is not a null and it's having a 500 address, then we can use like this. So I checked this question earlier. So we can take a 2 pointer I and j like that. We can put like slow and fast. We can take it fast. Okay, and slow and fast. And for using that, you start from 0 and also start from 0, but it will increment like slow will increment only one times and fast will increment 12 times. So it will be like we can repeat this cycle until that slow equal to fast, and we can say there is a cycle. Okay, so for that, if there is a cycle, then we have to remove this. Like let's consider like it will be like linking like your it will link like this. So we have to just remove this value to point up the null. Okay, we are putting it value here. Simply we have to put the null, then it will be unlink automatically. No need to create this. Okay, maybe it can be a cycle of this. Cycle can be possible like this, right?
Yes, it's possible.
Okay, now so we cannot put the that. We are breaking this. So means using the slow and fast, we can using that pointer we can find out the cycle for
How we will find out the cycle? Can you explain with the 3 and 4 cycle as an example?
So okay, so let me like there is a let's start. This is start from 0. Okay, so its current pointer is like 0, so we will increment twice. For fast we will increase twice. So let's consider here is a slow, slow is increased only one times.
Mm.
So slow value is 1, and fast will increase the twice, so it will going to the here. So let's consider that slow at the currently slow here and fast here. Okay, now slow will come here and fast after increment twice it will come here again, right? 1 and 2,
Mm.
because
Correct.
there is a cycle. So if they are matching, then we can say there is a cycle.
Okay. Now, just may think 2 and 4 is the cycle.
2 and 4 is the cycle.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it will repeat one more times. So like,
Or think 1 and 4 is the cycle.
okay,
Can you explain for the 1 and 4 as the cycle how it will be?
yeah, so it will run the multiple times, it will repeat. So like, so as start from 1,
Mm.
so start from 0, so as will here and fast at the same pointer. So it we can run that loop that as come here
Mm.
and fast will come here.
Yes.
After next station
Mm.
as come here
Yes.
and fast will come here at that
Yes.
one.
Yes.
Okay, now again now the s will work, so as
Yes.
come here.
Mm.
Okay, then fast will automatically go here.
Not there, right? Every time it is incremented by 2, right?
Sorry, yeah, increment will come here fast.
Mm.
Fast will come here. Now you can see that s will come at the here, but after the 1 and 2 it will come here.
Can we go from the first again?
Sorry, yeah, you can see that.
From initial onwards, we'll
Okay,
go.
okay, sure.
From the node 1 onwards.
Okay, sure.
Initially, both S and F was
At
on
the
node 1.
at node 1. Now
Yes.
s only at here and
Yes.
f will come here.
Yes.
Now the s come here
Yes.
and fast will go at the node first.
Correct.
Now the s is increment only 1
Correct.
and fast will increase 2 times, 1 and 2 here.
Yes.
Now s increment at the first.
Mm.
Now the f increment 2 times, 1 here and increment 2 here.
Okay.
So it will be the same. So using the slow and fast we can find out this cycle is there or not. Now we have want to like delete this and this cycle, then what we can do, we can just remove the address because that have the address of that last one. We just simply like we can simply node of address like tell or address we can say. Here we can put the null, but before that what we are getting that value, before that we have to getting the, it's already there, right? Then no need to be delete something, we have to just remove the
You
address.
have to traverse through the entire cycle and keep the addresses
Yes,
somewhere, and then you have to append it to the last
yeah,
one.
yeah, that means
Finish
like
that.
yeah, let temp we can put the node of that we found the address, so we, and like in a tell or something we can take in a temporary, and before that after that node we can putting the null, so cycle will remove. After that we have to put this temporary variable at the last, so we have to add, so at the starting or something, so if we are putting the at the last, so that cycle is already there, that, so I'm just saying that that tell is returning 500, so 500 address is already there in this list, then no need to be add in the into the list. We have to just, if we are removing the
So how you have to solve is, so you know from where the closed loop started, right?
yes,
where it equals, there is what it started. That you will keep in some variable,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Now from where you will start traversing through the next node and all until you find a previous node.
Yeah, right. We have
Those
to
steps.
traverse all the things if the previous
Exactly.
find the there is a
Now,
equal to 500.
yeah, now once you got the previous node,
Hmm.
you will start setting the next node from where you kept for the fourth node. You kept it somewhere, right? Some flag you kept it, right?
Yes, that's
Some variable
temporary.
you kept it.
Temporary we have
From
used.
there onwards, you will start putting the address of the next node in this node,
Okay.
and the last node ka address you will keep it 0. Is it clear?
Yes.
So you will be having a flag to keep the node end, I mean closed node end, closed node start and all.
Yes.
And then until you reach the closed node end, you will do the traversing.
Yes.
And
Right.
same time you will be setting the next node value. Each time you will be traversing into another say you can create another linked list from the current one to not spoil the current linked list also.
You mean
You
not to damage the existing list or create a new list?
Yes,
Okay.
right, until you find a closed loop. You will copy that node as it is,
Yeah.
I mean all the nodes. Then you will traverse and you keep adding into your new node.
Agree. Agree.
Okay, fine. Our time is up now, and I have covered all of my questions as well.
Okay.
So, any questions or anything you want to know from me, you can ask.
Yeah.
Or
So.
once it is done.
No, you can tell me anything. What is the interesting about that company? Something. Your team. How many members in our team? So.
Yeah, so our engineering team is including 150 plus engineers are there on different verticals. Not only the developers, it has the backend, front end developers, security team, product support team, and QA team. Everyone is there, right? And if we mention the proper development team, it will be around some 50-member team. And in 50-member team itself we have multiple products, so teams are split into multiple product wise. And the product which I am handling have 25 members, including front end, back end developers and the full stack developers and all. And the application wise, we have front end platform where the users are interacting, and a backend application to serve the APIs and all the data capturing and all those steps and all. And for our internal operations and all, we have an admin dashboard and admin application where we have the full stack as an application, in which currently we are using Laravel with the Blade and Bootstrap and PHP, all those stuffs with MySQL, Postgres, and all. Because we have multiple languages, multiple frameworks, and multiple database in place based on the our use cases and all. Say if we need to implement something notification and all, we are having Node.js applications in Node.js. If we have something to be implemented on queue, we have SQS queues and all those kind of steps and all. And database level, MySQL is there, Postgres SQL is there, MongoDB is there. Yeah, based on the use cases and all, we are using multiple applications. And on a language perspective, Node.js is there, Golang is there, Python is there, and PHP is also there as main backend applications. And front end, we are using and we have Android application, Flutter applications, iOS applications and all. And we have Svelte and Angular JS, React JS and all as the front end frameworks, mainly JavaScript, HTML, CSS and all.
So mainly means is team is flexible to work in any of the technology, or they have to force to work on this only one
It's
technology?
not like that. Multiple things are there. If we have enough work on the corresponding module we are aligned, we will work on that one. And if we are having much work on our module, and if we have other works in other modules and we know the language, or we are easily capable of learning the language and start working on it, then we will be allocating those per people. And if they are interested also, we will be, I mean,
Okay.
allocating.
So if
That's how the structure
so
works.
means what's the work culture? Is a flexible little bit or something we have to force to work overnight? What?
No, it's not overnight work or anything like that. We have 10 to 7 working hours, and mostly 99 percentage case we will be working 10 to
Because
7.
working, I know we are working in an industry, so if suddenly something goes wrong in a production, we have to ready for that.
Those
But
cases, that's the thing.
yeah, but if the employee is ready for working for that, but they have to understand, we have to giving the flexibility, like they can ready to work from home or something hybrid something,
Correct. That's
right?
flexibility also we have at some extent. I mean, I was telling normal working hours is 10 to 7,
Okay.
but people are allowed to work little late, but they will be working till little late as well,
Yeah.
right? And again, our policy allows us to take 2 work from homes per, I mean, month, and exceptions are allowed more if we have some I mean really useful use cases.
Hey, let's consider like if anything cause issue, okay, in a production, we have to take care of something is a deadline. We have to complete that project. So is forced to work in home or work on office only?
He will not be I mean forced to work on office. He can work on his comfort, whether it is home or wherever,
Hmm.
after this working hours and all.
Okay. So we are
I
from
mean, there will not be any case you ask her to come office and fix it or anything like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
We are providing the laptops and all, so it's in your premises, you can work.
yeah. Because some of the companies they are installing the VPN or all the restrictions.
We have the VPN
Yeah,
installed, so
VPN is a good. We have to use that thing. Okay, but you are restrict that no, that will work only in a office. We don't. Then how they
apart
will
from
work?
office hours, if anything is there,
Yeah.
you can work on your premises, your
Okay,
comfort.
that's great. Okay. Yeah, so I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. Fine. Thanks for connecting. Have a good day.
Yeah,
Bye.
thank you for your time. Bye.
Yeah.